Hello everybody and welcome. This is Adrian. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today I want to give you guys a review of Europa Universalis IV Emperor, the new expansion pack that releases on June 9th, 2020 for Europa Universalis IV. So, I've played with the game for about 10 hours now with the new 1.30 Austria patch, with the Emperor expansion. If you guys don't know, it does cost $19.99 on Steam. At least that's what I can see from US pricing. And I kind of want to give you guys my thoughts and tell you about it. Right off the bat, I'll just tell you, if you are I don't want to say a diehard fan of Europa Universalis IV, but like you enjoy the game and you play it on a regular basis, you're probably going to want to pick this up. This is actually a pretty cool expansion. There's a lot of features in here that I really do think add a little bit of life and a little bit of variety to the game. But I'm also going to preface this by saying, if you are just kind of a casual EU4 player, you don't play it all the time, or you don't play it every day, you're going to want to probably wait for a sale for this one. If you're casual and you don't play it all the time, like for me, I used to be a really huge fan of EU4. I used to play it daily, if not, probably several times, 5-6 times a week. Nowadays I have less time to play, and so for me, I would be maybe the person that would wait for a sale for this one, just because I really don't have time to play EU4 as much anymore. But absolutely, if you are a diehard fan of Europa Universalis IV, or you just enjoy the game, you like to, boot it up for a couple hours in the evening every night and just play, this is definitely the expansion for you. And I kind of want to talk about the features that are included in the paid expansion, and talk about why this expansion is worth it, at least in my opinion, if you enjoy the game and you're a big fan of it, for $20. And also talk about some things maybe I don't like, things that might be not worth $20. So I'll try and keep it as succinct as I can. So let's come on down here. So this is the EU4 Emperor Steam page, and I want to come down here. So they advertise some of the big features, and I want to talk about what I like, what I don't like, and then we'll dive into the patch notes. Actually, they have a little link here with all the patch notes that comes with the expansion, specifically what you actually have to pay for in order to get. So let's just kind of break it down by the big topics. So there's the new ability to appoint cardinals. You can publish papal bulls and gather tithes. These are pretty much new features for anybody who's Catholic and the Catholic Church. I played around with this for a bit as the papacy, and it wasn't a game changer. It was cool. It's kind of a bit of flavor, a little bit of gravy on top of the meat and potatoes. The new features are cool, appointing cardinals, that kind of thing. There's new papal bulls that you can publish. There's a little more sort of reason to care about the Catholic Church and to kind of try and get things, as far as the Protestant Reformation, there's a little more incentive to kind of get the Protestant Reformation under control, that kind of thing. But the quote powerful Pope, I mean, this isn't a game-changing feature, the new Curia mechanics and that kind of thing, so I wasn't blown away by this. I will admit the new Holy Roman Empire system is actually pretty cool. It's kind of akin to disasters. Something will happen to your country, you have to deal with something for a while. So these major imperial incidents kind of pop up every now and again in the game. One of them is the Burgundian succession. So if the ruler of Burgundy dies without a ruler, there's kind of this question that the emperor has to decide what to do, and I'm going to let you guys play the game for yourself and figure out what your options are in that situation. But it just gives a little bit more dynamism versus just having everything be, random mean time to happen, that kind of thing. Before, the Burgundian succession and the Burgundian inheritance was super random sometimes. I mean, there were little modifiers that you had to really, you had to check this tick mark in order to get this to happen. Castile sometimes would get it, France would get it sometimes, Austria would get it other times. And so these Imperial Incidents, they kind of help guide the game a little bit, and kind of, especially in Western and Central Europe, they just help smooth things a little bit, kind of give it a bit more dynamism, a bit more of a dynamic feel, a bit more life. So actually, this was one of the better features that I really enjoyed about this expansion. I gotta admit, anything to do with revolutions, I really was not too impressed with what they added as far as revolutions, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people finish the campaigns before they get to like the late game where revolutions even occur. I'm just sorry to say, for me, like even for me doing achievement campaigns or playing in my own time, I really don't deal too much with like late game, and revolutions don't even pop up that often in the late game. I wasn't really impressed with this feature. I tried out the 1792 bookmark, and even then, most people start on the first bookmark, the November 11th, 1444 bookmark. Nobody really plays, you know, 20, 30 years of this game, you really kind of want to start from the beginning. And so anything to do with the revolutions, I wasn't sold on that much. I appreciate Paradox's effort to try and give revolutions a bit more, you know, a bit more life, a bit more vibrancy, but I just am not one of those people that would pay $20 to get, you know, a couple new revolutions mechanics and make revolutions more interesting. I'm much more about, you know, like the Holy Roman Empire system. Like, you deal with the Holy Roman Empire as soon as you start the game. You know, early game, middle game, late game, like you're going to be dealing with it. That seems a bit more relevant to me. I wouldn't pay money for revolutionary features. It's just me. The new religious mechanics. So there's now a new Hussite faith, which is actually pretty cool. I'm doing a campaign as Bohemia, and we're being Hussite. So if you guys want to go see that, please check my channel. The new Hussite mechanics, it's interesting in the sense that you are kind of an outsider in Europe. You're the first sort of quote Protestant, you know, sect around. It leads to some challenges. It leads to some benefits, that kind of thing. I didn't find it to be some game-changing mechanic. And there's a couple opportunities for you to like either convert back to Catholicism or to, you know, become Protestant, like mainstream Protestantism. There's just, you know, it wasn't huge. It wasn't like a game-changing mechanic for Bohemia to be a Hussite. It's cool that it's there, but it felt more like flavor than it was meat and potatoes. You know, it was a little bit of gravy on top. It wasn't so central to the game that I was like, oh, that's cool. Being Hussite is like, holy crap. You know, it plays kind of the same as the other Protestant countries. You have church aspects, that kind of thing. There's a few unique events and a few unique mechanics, but would I, you know, pay $20 for the Hussite faith? Like, probably not. You know, Defenders of the Faith have a few new features. I thought that stuff was kind of interesting, but at the same time, I mean, you know, you can only have one Defender of the Faith per religion. You know, usually if you are the Defender of the Faith, there are benefits and drawbacks, and I didn't find the benefits or the drawbacks to be all that game-changing and sort of revolutionary in how this game is played. And so I just, it was okay. You know, it was okay. For $20, it was all right. What I did find kind of interesting was actually the kind of Reformation. I'm not going to spoil anything, so you guys are going to have to play it and figure it out yourself. But there's actually a bit more dynamism in how the kind of Reformation can begin and how it can sort of deal with Protestantism. And because the Reformation is kind of an important sort of turning point in the game, it kind of marks that change from the early game to the mid game. I did kind of appreciate this. At the same time, there are criticisms that Catholicism is still a little weak. Protestantism and Reformed, especially with Anglican and Hussite now in the game, not to mention the benefits you get as an Orthodox country. Catholicism doesn't always have a lot going for it, and I still think that criticism is valid even with these new kind of Reformation mechanics. So, I don't know. I want you guys to play the expansion on your own and kind of deal with that. I thought the kind of Reformation stuff was kind of cool. At the same time, would I pay $20 for it? I don't know. It was nice. It's nice to add some vibrancy, but I was a little, I don't know. As far as value, I'm trying to look out for like the consumer and value. Would I pay money for this? And I just wasn't exactly sold on it. Hegemonies, really, I didn't deal with this much at all. I mean, you know, you get your big countries, you get France, you get sometimes Britain, you get, you know, Russia or Muscovy sometimes. Oftentimes you get Poland and the Commonwealth, and then you always get the Ottomans. Hegemonies, I don't know. I wasn't really too impressed with this mechanic either. Kind of like the Revolutions mechanic. Like, would I pay $20 to have, you know, hegemonic features in this game? Sort of. Just kind of meh. I don't know. And then what I will admit is actually pretty cool. I kind of experimented a little bit with a few different countries. There's 20 unique mission trees now for a variety of countries. A few of them are like Brandenburg, Prussia. There's some new missions there. Burgundy's got some. Milan, Genoa, Venice, Italy. There's actually quite a few new mission trees that I think are kind of cool. And as far as the mission trees, on one hand, I like them because they do help guide the world towards something a little more historical and kind of there's a little bit of flavor and a little bit of incentive to play countries versus the generic, you know, mission tree. Like, it's always nice having some unique flavor in there. It's always nice to have these unique historical missions and they kind of help guide the country towards, you know, what it historically accomplished or what it historically did. At the same time, some people complain about mission trees being very stale after you've tried them like once or twice. Like, once you've played France 5 or 6 times, like you've been through that mission tree from top to bottom. Same thing with like Britain. Once you've played Britain a few times, the mission trees are kind of just like, yeah, they're just nice, but they lose their, you know, flavor. And I agree with that criticism sometimes. I think the mission trees are still really nice. This is probably, the mission trees are probably the best feature out of this expansion that I can think of, probably besides the new Holy Roman Empire mechanics. The mission trees are awesome. That is really the meat and potatoes of, I think, this expansion, is you get mission trees. Let's go and take a look here at the patch notes for 1.30. So, it's you know, it's a lengthy list. Let's just go down and kind of take a look at what I liked and what I didn't like, what I find worth it for this expansion for paying your $20, and then what I didn't. So the Golden Bulls, that lets the Curia controller affect the entire faith. Like I said, this wasn't a game-changing feature for me. It just wasn't. It's nice to have. Catholicism can use maybe a little more mechanics like this, so I appreciated this. The Golden Bulls. The Pope can now appoint cardinals in other countries or within his own. I played as the papacy. I didn't actually find this cardinal mechanic to be all that important. I don't know. That was just me. Maybe I need to play around more with it. Don't take my opinion as gospel, but I just wasn't that impressed with this feature. Catholic faith can collect tithe from its adherents to be spent on new features. I also didn't find this to be that groundbreaking. You know, it wasn't some revolutionary mechanic. It was nice. The new Council of Trent mechanics to let Catholics to stem the tide of the Protestant Reformation. I thought that was kind of cool versus, you know, what was before. It really was just like a decision. You know, get a couple more missionaries, you get some missionary strength versus heretics. That was about it. The new Council of Trent mechanics are nice. You know, it's cool. I agree that this here, the added Imperial Incident system for the HRE, though, makes Central Europe feel more alive and dynamic. I felt, at least somewhat, that yes, Central Europe did feel more alive and dynamic, especially to what was the HRE before. You always kind of had your big players. You know, sometimes Bohemia would pop up and get big, and Austria always got the damn Burgundian succession. They would always be huge. You know, you didn't see Prussia form that often. I really do think any sort of flavor to the HRE is better for the HRE, and this Imperial Incident system actually really did accomplish that. Is it worth $20? I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the feeling of dynamism in Central Europe. You guys might have a different opinion on it. Please look at several reviews and make up your own mind about that. I did enjoy playing in Germany, though, with this new Imperial Incident system. So yeah, added 2 paths for Imperial reforms to the HRE, centralized and decentralized. So as the Emperor, you can either choose to be more centralized or decentralized. You can have different reforms. They have different benefits, different drawbacks, that kind of thing. Like I said, a little more dynamism to the Empire is good, in my opinion. I think it used to be kind of a bit stale, a bit boring. Now I think it is a little more alive, which is nice. The Hegemony status mechanics, I really didn't deal with them too much. I wasn't really impressed by them. That's just me. The tiers of Defender of the Faith depend on the strength of the faith. Like I said, I also did not feel that crazy about this feature. I thought it was okay. It's a bit of flavor. It's just not the meat and potatoes of this expansion. I wasn't blown away by the Defender of the Faith tiers, so that was just me. This is actually one feature that I might be disliked for this. I actually didn't know how much I liked this feature. You can now introduce a new heir if you currently have none in a monarchy. You take a prestige and legitimacy hit to do this. I thought this was, it's a little, I don't want to say gimmicky. That's not the word I want to use. But I kind of appreciated there being a level of randomness to heirs. Some people got really pissed off about it. Other people liked that it was random. It was one of those things that made monarchies a drawback compared to being a republic. A republic, you never have to worry about heirs and that kind of thing, besides Republican tradition. In monarchies, you did have to worry about heirs and making sure, you know, that they were, you know, of good quality and that they wouldn't die from some hunting accident, that kind of thing. So I think introducing a new heir now, just at the click of a button, it just, I don't know, it kind of, I don't know how much I liked it, but it's there. That's just me. You guys might feel differently about it. Like I said, don't take my word as gospel. Have your own opinion on that. Let's see. The 10 new Defender of the Faith events, including jihads for Muslim holy cities and opportunities for Catholics to repair relations with rivals. Like I said, Defender of the Faith events are cool. I like the flavor. I don't think they're groundbreaking, but they're cool. 13 new events by the Papal Tithe and the Curia Treasury. They're cool. Like I said, new events are always nice. Flavor's nice. I like that there is some expansion in that realm. But it wasn't groundbreaking for me. I wasn't like blown away. I didn't say, here, take my money, $20, you know. Let's see, Hussite church aspects, they kind of play pretty similar to a Protestant country. Besides a couple new mechanics and a couple new, or sorry, not mechanics, a couple new events here and there, some, you know, little flavors for the Hussite church. I didn't really find them to be much different than Protestant. They're just really early in the game, which is kind of cool. You're sort of on your own a little bit if you become Hussite as Bohemia. So it is kind of interesting in that sense. So I liked the Hussite faith. At the same time, it plays very similarly to a Protestant country. I think some people might be like, what's the difference? You're just changing the name and making them distinct from Protestantism. You know, now you get the neighboring heretic religion and that kind of thing. But, you know, I enjoyed my campaign as Bohemia. I'm playing right now as a Hussite Bohemia. I enjoyed it. Is it groundbreaking? Probably not. No, they do play pretty similar to Protestant countries. I'll just be honest. So that's just me. I did not play as Hungary, so I can't really say too much about the institutionalized Black Army government reform. But, you know, more flavor, the better, I guess. That's cool. Let's see. Revolutionary satellite state government reform that the revolutionary target can impose on its client states and enemies. I really did not try this too much, I'll be honest. Like I said, I think most revolutionary features might go untouched. I know a lot of people do not get to that length, or that place in the game. It's a very late game, mid-late game to late game. You know, I wasn't too impressed with the revolutionary features, unfortunately. Let's see. Add an Imperial Incident that triggers once the League War concludes if the majority of the HRE's provinces are owned by reformed princes, forcing the Emperor to address their demands. I have not gotten to this point in my campaign. I haven't triggered a League War yet, so I can't really speak too much on that. But like I said, more flavor for the HRE, the better. That's just what I think. The more flavor, the better. Added events adding flavor to the spread of revolutionary ideas in Europe and the colonies. Have also not gotten to that much of a late game yet, so I would say this: any sort of events, any sort of flavor is nice. The more the merrier, I think, in that sense. So there's an expanded mission tree for France, Brandenburg, Prussia. There's a mission tree for Germany and the Holy Roman Empire with unique branches for both tags. That's pretty cool. There's a mission tree for Provence. I actually think Provence is a pretty interesting country, so I may have to play a campaign as them. There's a mission tree for Switzerland. This is actually pretty cool. I know a lot of people who actually really enjoy playing the Crusader states. So there's a new mission tree for all the Crusader states: Knights, Epirus, Cyprus, Athens, and Jerusalem. So that's pretty cool. There's missions for Naples and Two Sicilies. I actually really like, not the Two Sicilies so much, because you don't always see them. I mean, you know, they pop up here, but Naples is actually a pretty interesting country to play as. I kind of want to do campaign as them at some time in the future, so I thought this was a really nice feature to add. The new Bohemian mission tree is also pretty cool. I find it to be pretty dynamic and pretty expansive. It makes for an enjoyable gameplay experience, at least in my opinion. Some people might say it's kind of small in comparison to some of the other countries, but that's just me. I've had a good time with it. You can watch my campaign if you guys want to take a look at it. I've enjoyed my time with it, so that's just me. There's some new Papal State missions. I tried these out a little bit. They're actually pretty interesting. It just makes the papacy a little more dynamic, a little more sort of interesting to play as, which is never a bad thing. Let's see, the ideals of the revolution now spreads over provinces and incurs harsh penalties on absolutist countries. Like I said, I didn't get to really any sort of late game stuff here, so I can't speak too much on the revolutionary mechanics. What I did see, I was not too impressed with. That was just me. There's a new mechanic that lets you choose to support or oppose the revolutionaries in revolution, and there's also a French Revolution, or in the Revolution and French Revolution disasters, because revolutions and the specific French Revolution are disasters in countries. France is just France, and then revolution is in other places. Yeah, so this is kind of more of like a, I don't want to say flavor, you know, I mean, it's just pick one, pick the other, benefits, drawbacks, that kind of thing. Let's see, I didn't use this too much. Players can now provoke rebels into revolting immediately with extra strength. I did not play with this too often. I don't really support rebels in other countries that often. I never find it to be particularly worth it. Maybe occasionally if maybe some countries are like at war and they just got out of a bad war, and maybe you can have some rebels pop up and kind of cause some havoc, but I don't do that often. I don't know, that's just me. Maybe other people do more than I do. But let's see, Revolutionary Zero replaces absolutism mechanics for revolutionary countries. Okay. Added so many unique reforms for revolutionary countries, both Republic and Empire. So if you do want to play revolutionary country and kind of get to that late game and experience the revolutionary features, you can. Revolutionary Guard special unit for revolutionary countries. You know, unique units are cool. That's fine. Revolutionary countries can now take over the torch of the revolution from the revolutionary target. Okay. And then these are all the new Imperial Incidents. I'll let you guys experience that on your own. Don't want to spoil too much about these incidents. I'll let you guys experience that. The Burgundian Inheritance is now an Imperial Incident. Like I said, I do like this. I think it does add a bit of dynamism to Europe. Burgundy, the Burgundian succession, and that whole sort of time period and the consequences of that is pretty important to the play out of the game. So I really appreciate that it's now an Imperial Incident. There's a bit more dynamism than there was before. It used to feel very random before. So yeah, so I appreciate the dynamism now. 21 new missions for Lubeck. If you want to do some more Hanseatic stuff, you can. There's a new peace treaty to spread the revolution. I actually really liked this. This was kind of cool. This made the revolutionary mechanics almost seem worth it. Like I said, though, it's just so late game. I really can't tell you to go buy this expansion for features that are such late game features. That's just me. I know a lot of people really never get to the late game, myself included. But who knows? Maybe people will disagree with me on that one. That's just me. Let's see. There's a Saxon mission tree with 16 missions available for Saxony and Thuringia. This was actually pretty cool. I definitely would like to do a campaign as Saxony and Thuringia. So Saxony is actually a pretty interesting country. If you guys ever do some history on it, you know, it's pretty cool. And then Thuringia is their, I believe, their personal union at the beginning of the game. So yeah, some interesting stuff there. There's a Savoyard mission tree. There's an extended Genoese mission tree. There's these estates agendas to the game. You can have your estates want you to do things, and you get rewards or drawbacks depending on whether you do them. So it was cool. Nice little flavor right there. I wouldn't say this is a meat and potatoes feature of the game. I didn't really deal with estates that often, to be honest, playing my campaign so far, but that's just me. There's a new expanded Bavarian mission tree with 15 new missions. That's cool. Milanese mission tree. There's an extended Hungarian mission tree. I didn't play as Hungary, so I can't speak to that, but any more flavor and any more missions is good in my book. That's just me. There's several 18th century events, e.g. the Flower Wars, that enhance the build-up to the revolution and make it more likely to happen in the country where they take place. Okay. There's a Netherlands mission tree, Austrian mission tree. There's a new mission tree for Serbia, Florence, Italy, Genoa, Venice, Burgundy, and Provence. So those are all the paid features of the expansion. Like I said, just to reiterate, I would say if you are a fan or like a die-hard fan of Europa Universalis IV, you really want to experience, you know, you like the mission trees, you like to experience, and you play a lot of different countries, you want to try these new mission trees, and you want to have a new gameplay experience, then I would say pick this expansion up. For 20 bucks, for all these new mission trees, you'll probably really enjoy. The Imperial Incidents are actually pretty cool. Whoopsies, sorry. The Imperial Incidents are pretty cool, the way that plays out. Maybe if you want to try out Revolutions, you know, there are some expanded features here. I am just not one of those people to really play into the late game so often that I have to deal with Revolutions. Maybe this will change with these new features. That was just me. I would say definitely, if you are a fan of EU4, you play it often, you play it either weekly or every day possibly, you like the mission trees, you like to try out different countries, especially those in Europe. There's a lot of European countries here that have new mission trees. Then you're going to enjoy this expansion. I think you will definitely feel like you got your $20 worth out of it. However, if you're just kind of a casual sort of player, you pick it up every now and again, this is definitely a wait for a sale. I think you have to be either a fan of the game to actively play it, you actively go on the Reddit for it, you enjoy watching content creators that play EU4. If you're one of those people, definitely get this expansion. If you're not, then I fear you may not find much, I don't want to say worth, because there's some good stuff here, and I appreciate the work Paradox put into this. You just might not feel like you got your $20 worth. So that's my thoughts on it. You know, I appreciate Paradox for giving me the review copy, and I appreciate the work that they do into making EU4 a better game. I'm just trying to look out for you guys, the viewers, the consumer, and see it from your perspective. Like, would I pay $20 for this? Maybe. I mean, like I said, I don't play EU4 as much anymore. I don't really have time to play it. I don't play it every day. I might pick it up, you know, maybe once a week, twice a week. I mean, even less than that. And so for $20, I don't know. I don't know if I would pay that, to be perfectly honest. I might be able to wait for a sale. I mean, the summer's coming up. There's going to be some summer sales, that sort of thing. I would probably be the person to wait for a sale on this, just because I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to play EU4. You know, I enjoy the game. It's just, and I enjoy this expansion, but I mean, I got it for free. So I'm trying to look out for you guys. And if it was me, if I had the choice to spend $20 on it, I mean, I would probably wait. I'd probably wait for a sale. I just don't play EU4 as much as I used to anymore. I don't have the time, and I'm not as huge of a fan of it, simply because I've gotten busier with other things in life. So, you know, but if you're that type of person that plays this game multiplayer with friends, if you play it every day, you know, if you play it even, you know, 3-4 times a week, 5 times a week, I mean, you're going to want to pick this up for sure. Yeah. So that's me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you want to ask me any questions. I'll try and do my best to answer as much questions as I can. Let me know if you have any other details you guys want to find out about this expansion, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.